Hello and welcome once again to Ignite Your Impact. My name is Jen Rhodes. I am seated next to Mr. Matt Rhodes.
Hello, how are you?
I am good to go.
Well, I want to start off by thanking everyone who has been listening and sharing our podcast. We've really picked up a lot of momentum where it's become almost a normal thing for people to reach out afterwards and say things like, "Man, what you guys said today, hit with me," or, "Hey, I want more information." So just thank you for what you guys have been doing and helping us grow this podcast and share this message and get it out to other people as well.
Yeah. I actually have had a couple of people direct message me on the day that it comes out. It comes out every Monday. Like, new episode out today. I'm like, yay! But I specifically want to talk. I have a client that's killing it on referrals. And I know you noticed that, but she always just shares the podcast, and she's a very visible person in our community. And anytime she's out and about, she gets asked, "What are you doing? Who do you work with? What do you like? What's your secret?" And she shares the podcast as just a way to have people kind of get a taste test of what we do and what we're about. And the next thing you know, they become a client, and she gets a referral bonus. So if you're here listening because someone shared this with you, just know you're in the right place. Mama J's gotcha. You know you're already changing. So let's jump in, shall we?
Yeah, today's topic is going to be, I would call it one of those soul-searching topics. It is those are my favorite kind of topics too. Mm-hmm. Dig deep into it. And I've really fallen in love lately with this thought of touching the impossible. That statement has become something I think about every morning in my morning routine, and I'm writing it down and I'm thinking about it. And touching the impossible from what other people think can happen, but really what I used to think was impossible that I couldn't do. I want to reach out and touch those things and do those things. The thing that matters the most is what I do when other people are not watching. That is where the gains are made. That is where people become champions. That is where you develop excellence. And I'm excited because I know there's going to be people listening today that want to do those things, that want to touch the impossible. And we're going to show you that formula, that blueprint. So it's important for anyone that wants to level up, listen in today. But I want to start out with a couple examples because I think people will resonate with this what I mean by what you do when other people are not watching. So if you take back a journey, go back maybe 2018, 2019, 2020, and if you knew me and you saw me in the gym, you would have thought that, I was a health nut and I was doing everything that it took to be a healthy person, because what you saw is I was in the gym lifting for an hour and a half, followed up by 45 minutes of cardio. And I was doing this 5 or 6 days a week. I mean, I was sweating, I was moving, I was doing ab exercises. I mean, I looked like I was the type of healthy person. But what people didn't see, what I was doing when people were not watching me, was I was not feeding my body the right things. And that goes into the food that I was putting into my body. More importantly, the mindset, I was not doing the things to feed my brain. When you look at nutrition, I mean, I was eating one healthy meal a day. I was tricking myself, but I wasn't doing it as a full-on lifestyle change. And when it came time for Friday and Saturday night, I worked my ass off in the gym all week. I put in an hour and a half of lifting and 45 minutes of cardio. And again, I did the ab exercises. I deserve these drinks. I deserve this dessert. And those are the things that I was doing when people weren't watching, when I was outside of the gym. What everyone else also didn't see is they didn't see me in front of pictures. I would hide behind pictures. They didn't see me ever take my shirt off. And they never saw me really posting on social media because I was embarrassed about my face and I was embarrassed about my stomach. I wasn't doing the things that it takes when no one is watching to get the body that I wanted and the things that I wanted, as opposed to today. It's the opposite of that. Today, whether anyone's watching or not, I'm finishing that last set in the gym. And I have no problem still having the ice cream and the dessert, but I'm logging it this time. When I go to the cupboard and grab something out of the cupboard, I'm still logging it, even though no one's watching. I'm also spending time in the morning to get my mind right and get my mindset before others are even awake. And it's not from motivation. It's not from discipline. It comes from what we're going to share today, the core of what we're going to share today, and how you can begin to maybe touch that impossible by doing the things that you need to do when no one's watching.
I love it. I love that. I think you just described what a lot of people could be struggling with. And maybe you don't know you're struggling. Because we trick ourselves by putting in some time at the gym. And outside the gym, we wear our workout gear. We are head to toe, living that fit life. And maybe we're carrying around our water bottle. And we fit our gym time in. Maybe we fit a class in. And there's a cafe near where you work out. So you grab a coffee. And they've got fresh food. So you indulge. You get a yummy breakfast or maybe a snack. Because you've got all day to make up for that muffin. I can make it fit. And then you're running all day at work. So much so that you've probably forgotten to eat. And then if you have kids and you start that running after school. So you quick slam your dinner so that you can get the kids through their homework, off to practices. Maybe there's games. Get back home. Is everybody showered? Bedtime, etc., etc. And then you can sit and frankly, you need a glass of wine. I need a glass of wine. Because today was busy and you need to de-stress. And you wake up tomorrow and you do it all again. Guys, gals, this is your wake-up call. This was me. I don't do anything out of judgment. This was me. I literally just described my day 3 years ago. I did this for 15 years. I hope this finds a nerve with you. Because I deliver this message with love. But it's time to stop fooling yourself. It was time for me to stop fooling myself. It's all about that fit life for maybe an hour a day. Let's say you work out for 2 hours in your day. There's only 24 hours in a day, guys. So 22 of it, you're sabotaging yourself. I'm not a math expert, but that's not a good majority of effort. But we have so many things going on in our life that even like when we get to dinner, we've ran all day, we've worked out, probably hit the gym, run the kids everywhere. And when we finally get to sit and breathe, 8 p.m., am I wrong? 8:30 was my witching hour. I'd say, fuck it. I deserve this. And I'll get back at it tomorrow. Yeah, probably. You know what? It's Friday. I'll hit it on Monday.
That, what you just described, is an honest look at someone's day that's listening right now. Or a piece of their day.
Yeah.
The story that I told where I was back in 18, 19, 20 as well. Someone listening right now is relating to that and saying, damn, that's me. That's what I'm doing. I go to the coffee. I sneak in that muffin because no one's looking. And I know that because, as Jen said, we live that life.
Because you used to clean the wrappers out of the back of my car.
That's true. But I also know that because most everyone we speak to, this is where they come from. We weren't unique, and you're not unique either. There's a lot of people that are in this same position. But I also want to look at it from a different vertical, a different lens. I want to look at it from the business side. This has become a big one for us.
Very recently.
Yeah, very recently, because we've had the opportunity to peer under the hood of the business side because we've been working with a lot more entrepreneurs lately. Mm-hmm. In their businesses and in their health, and it kind of all goes together when we start working with them, but we started doing more with them. And like we used to, you look, you act, you talk about the big company that you're building. it's an unbelievable company, which means long-term strategic thinking, smart and really big decisions. And people are looking up to you. I mean, that's what people see. And that's what they see with these entrepreneurs that we work with. That's what they see with you. The truth is, when people aren't looking, you're actually spending all of your time putting out fires. You're trying to plug holes with someone who probably doesn't fit in that hole. And when you can't get that done, you're plugging the hole yourself, which takes away from family, which takes away from your exercise, all those things. And when this all happens, you take on more responsibilities. You join a steering committee. You go to the city council meetings. Heck, you become the president of the steering committee. And then you go to events that CEOs go to. This leads to no strategic thinking. This leads to no smart decisions. I mean, how the hell are you supposed to be making smart decisions when Joe Schmo just quit and you're trying to figure out who's going to cover that work? These are the things that people don't see you doing. And I get it. I was there. I walked in that fire and I almost burned out, but I'm telling you, there is a better way. And that's what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah. We both almost burnt up in that fire. I think my hair is still singed. So I want to talk about kind of solving and giving some tips to get out of the fire now that we're awake.
Yeah.
But I want you to picture your day. So if you're sitting at work, it's all good. It's fine. Maybe you're in your car. If you're at the gym, if you're walking the dog, I just want you to take a second. I want you to picture your day, not what you want it to be. Picture your current situation. I think someone will resonate with this.
Yeah. So we hit on fitness and business, and those two areas really, they tie into the other areas, the relationships, the mindset, and the finances. And these 5 areas really encompass each of us every single day. That's why Jen said, take a look at your day. Are you going to the coffee shop, grabbing the muffin and doing all those things? Are you putting all the time in the gym? If that resonates, we want you to look at these 5 areas. Which one's lagging or suffering? There's a good chance that you're really doing good on quite a few of them. The issue is when one of them is lower, it drags all of them down. You know, if you're having financial issues, it's going to affect your relationship. It's going to affect work. If you're having relationship issues, it's going to affect you at work. It's going to affect your mindset. If you're not leveling up, or if you're ready to level up, look at these 5 areas and see which one is holding you back. Once you know which 1, 2, or maybe even 3 areas, that's where you put these steps in that we're going to go over here in just a minute. And by the way, when you start putting these steps in on the area that maybe not be your best area, it automatically cascades into the other areas. Your mindset gets better, relationships get better, finances get better, fitness gets better. All those things. The real thing that you have to do before we go into the steps is you have to dial in your identity. And it's easy to make these massive changes when no one is looking when you do this. If you identify as someone who is Fight Club shredded, you're going to make different decisions around your nutrition and your workouts. If you identify as a CEO with limitless opportunities, you're going to make different decisions when it comes to your business. If you identify as an abundant human being that's grateful, you're going to make different decisions around who you spend your time with, how you spend your time, where you spend your money, and where you put your focus. It all comes down to the identity that you have, which means the decisions that you make when no one's watching is what brings in the excellence in those areas.
Yes. All right.
I'm looking at you because you're going to take us home.
Let's take this home. Step 1, you have to decide. You have to make a decision. Sit down and make a decision. Sit down and write out who you want to be. This is the very first step of my 5-day badass body love challenge. Because fit may mean 1,000 different things to people. We do this, and Matt and I do this first thing every morning, and we have for probably 2 years. I revisit this so very often, and it's not to remind myself of who I am. I'll get to what I do it for in a second, but we revisit it every day, solidifying who you are, who you need to become, and who you need to attract to help you advance with speed. Those are 3 very distinct decisions. Who are you? Who do you need to become? And who do you need to attract to get you there faster? And I want to explain the science behind it. And I was talking on the phone today. I had a Zoom call and I did something called the science shimmy. And I think I'd like to put that into standard practice. Maybe next call. But the science behind this is the reticular activation system, the portion of your brain that is triggered awake when you put intention behind something, no matter what it is. Think of it as Google. And whatever you type in first thing in that search bar, it's going to run a search in the background the rest of the day just for that, because you've put some intention behind it. So think about the first thing you do in the morning. Do you turn on Fox News? Do you open up your email? Do you wake up and start putting out fires? Or do you sit out and plan who do you want to become? The RAS is key to helping advance this with speed, but then also introducing key players that you may not have noticed. Have you ever noticed you're thinking about trash bags? And then you open up Amazon and all of a sudden there's trash bags. You didn't even have to say trash bags. Guys, you're welcome. Your Amazon now has trash bags in it. But how did Amazon know I needed trash bags? I was thinking it. That's your reticular activation system. You need to calibrate it every single morning for this specific piece. I'll get to the reason why here in a second.
I love the science.
Science shimmy.
But I would also like to, I wouldn't say break it down further because the science are the facts. But it all comes down to when you identify as a certain way, you make different decisions throughout your day. Jen just told you the science behind it, which is all true. But when you identify a certain way, I'll say it again, you happen to make different decisions throughout the day. Both ways. Scientific way and the non-scientific way. It's all about how you identify and the decisions you make when no one's watching.
Yeah. Yep. So that's number 1. Decide. You got to make a decision. You can change your mind throughout that decision-making process. That's okay. I search for different things on Google every day. Sometimes I buy different types of trash bags. That's okay. But you have to decide. And then number 2, we're going to practice. But we're going to practice in such a way that you have no other choice. And we're going to practice daily. We're going to burn the boats. If you don't know what that means, please Google it. I talk about it often. We are going to eliminate all previous versions of this old identity. They will no longer exist. Don't bring that shit here. She don't live here no more. I'll give you an example. I made a decision 10 years ago that I wanted a 6-pack and I wanted to be known for my 6-pack. It's a goal. It's fine. Everybody has goals. So I went and cut off the bottom half of all of my workout tank tops. I decided. I drew a line in the sand. This is where it stops. Maybe that's throwing out your old fat pants. It's fine. You're not going back. I made the decision 2 weeks after having our son, I will no longer get pregnant. I threw all my maternity clothes out. I donated them. They're gone. I'm done. Decision made. Burn the boats, guys. Eliminate all previous versions of this old identity. Your true identity is who you are when the lights are out, when it's really damn hard, when you have no other options left. And when you sit down daily and you revisit this vision, this decision, you can quickly go past those critical factors that may cause you to veer off course. And you will veer off course. You're a human. It's okay. But what happens next solidifies that identity. When you sit down daily, when you decide daily, when you practice daily, the days become weeks. Weeks become months practicing. And you practice until it just becomes permanent.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right. So you got the 2 steps right there. They're super simple. You just have to practice. If you need help,
practice.
Reach out to us. We're here to help you. But if anything, make sure you like, share, and give us a 5-star review.
And do a science shimmy.
We'll talk to you next week.